see. He's been looking pretty calm all day, but that was the first slip we've really seen in him kind of breaking after a loss like that.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Set number 2 is going to be... I'm not entirely sure which map this is, actually. I don't know the Korean word for this one.
No idea.
It's maybe Cactus Valley, I think. No, it's
Expedition Lost.
Expedition Lost. All right, guys. Going into game number 2. See if Rogue can close it out. To the top right, we just saw his ring. He is the defending champion. It's classic. Massive cheers in the crowd right now.
I don't think anyone's expecting him to go down like this. Not to someone like Rogue.
I would never expect it, man. It would be a massive upset for someone like Rogue to beat this player right now.
Did look tilted after that first loss in the series. Down here in the bottom left, we do have the Zerg player up a game, looking to get out of this group. It is Rogue. One more win is all it takes.
It's a great opportunity for him. All right, we're going to see the fake cannon again. Rogue, no doubt, will respond. It's a good choice. Oh, actually going to go for Gateway. Did not expect that. What do you think about this?
Yeah, I actually like this. I like the mix-up. I think it's important to mix those two builds up. This one's going to give you a much faster opportunity for a Zealot or for tech in general. So I think it's a great way to also fake it as well, because I mean you can get away with throwing down a pylon down here and forcing the Zerg to pull another 5 drones for no reason at all.
Yeah, then you get your Nexus up for free.
And I mean, look at this. He wants to go for that double hatch before pull again, and he could if he could see the natural building. But he doesn't, so he has to be very careful at this point.
Very well said. Bring it down 3 more drones. 4 more. Going to be 5 again. 5 is a pretty good round number for defending this.
Yeah, you want 1 on the probe, and the rest trying to DPS down a building because it takes about 4 drones to cancel a cannon. So it's an important number to have. And Nexus goes down. Everything is normal. Rogue didn't get the build he wanted to get. He wanted that double hatch before pull, especially against a gateway opening like this. But it's just
not meant to be.
A little bit more difficult than it should be to than it is to get that Overlord Scout off in time. If he went for a drone scout, you would find out and he'd be much more comfortable, but not the kind of player to do so.
And basically everything you just described is the mix-up, right? Like you said,
the mix-up.
It's basically it's just basically playing differently and throw somebody off.
The mind game.
Now, 2 lings on the way only. Just going to poke at the front a little bit. And also go and check for pylons, try to find this probe. Yun's still watching.
Like,
that could have been me.
It could have been me, guys. I could have been up there right now, but I lost. He's got a lot of fans. Talking to him a lot. He's also one of those, one of the more experienced overseas Korean players that have had a lot of success, so I'm sure he's very interesting to a lot of people. He's also got a great personality.
He's a big personality. Something he actually usually doesn't show in his interviews. He's actually usually very censored and very, I'd say, I don't know, almost like too politically correct and very nice and friendly in his interviews. But like sometimes he does talk a lot of trash. He's a really goofy guy.
Well, watch him at Home Story Cup and you'll see the real side of Hyun after a few beers.
It's very, I'd say he's very much well liked by most. He's got a lot of good practice partners he can play with. So one of those old TSL players still around today.
Yeah, he also lives in the Axiom house.
Yep. So a lot of practice partners to work with there, plus his online practice partners. It's important, to have good relationships with players, especially if you're on a non-Kespa team. Because if you live alone, for example, you have so much trouble practicing because people are busy. They're practicing with their team. They're practicing with Pro League and things like that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think it's one of the biggest tools. That's why we do see Reigns and Parting and those guys so successful, despite leaving their Kesper teams, is because they had those relationships with those players.
Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, this scout denied. This is going to be the first time we see real early gateway aggression today. So it's going to be a little bit of sentry pressure. 3 gates. No tech whatsoever.
No tech so far. It's just kind of interesting. We are seeing that Forge come down a little bit later here. He does have the option to go for Stargate as well if he really wanted to. That would be a pretty delayed one at this point.
Yeah, I feel like he's just going to take a third base behind us and use the sentries after he pokes a little bit with them.
It looks that way.
His mothership core is really late, so he might even just take a third nexus really fast without even pressuring, because without the mothership core, it's really tough to actually commit to aggression on the middle of the map like this. You know what I mean? Robotics.
Well, it's an interesting build, that's for sure, but
it's really unusual. We don't see stuff like this.
Yeah, I don't know. It's far less common. That is definitely true here. He's going to go for that third and that +1. But at the same time, Rogue has done nothing but drone up. You know, this is what you can do when you're a game ahead like this. You are in such a comfortable place, you can burn a game. You know, play crazy greed. Just get your drones out as fast as possible, and it's going to be working a charm against the build order that Classic chose.
Absolutely. 10 drones on the way. Just more and more drones. All the chrono boosts that Classics used on probes as well. He was not massively behind. He's got 50 drones up pretty quick, even before his third nexus is complete. So as soon as that base does finish, he's going to have a massive probe count to blow his economy up as well. The question is, what's he going to do with it? Because it almost feels like he's about to add a robotic support bay and go Colossi with the way he's opened this. Doesn't have a Twilight Council, you know, so there's no blink, no +2. I think Robo Bay is the next possible real branch for him, unless he's going to do like a big gateway timing.
Yeah, I think it might be a gateway timing, unless we do see another piece of tech. But unless it's like a Twilight Council behind this, like in a few seconds' time, it's going to be a gateway all in. Yeah,
because I guess he's just waiting for this Overseer to get cleaned out because he doesn't want to show this, but he's got no other tech and he's got plenty of money to add it. So, you know, Robo Bay is not something super like that you need to really hide from a player. There's the Twilight Council a few seconds later than you would have expected to see it, but
it's pretty impressively late actually. Like that +1's going to finish up long before the Twilight does, and that's really mistimed. Like maybe he's really tired. It's hard to say right now, but there is no reason why that should have been so late.
This is not a tech that you have to keep hidden from an Overseer so much. Like, it's more important to hit the timing with it than to keep it hidden. It's one of those kind of techs.
It's just very late. Plus, I mean, it's going to mean Blink is so late, not to mention +2, and like...
Fourth base is going to be up for a while before any sort of attack can even happen.
This is a perfect place for Rogue to be right now. He must be feeling so good about what he sees so far.
And to think, if Classic loses here, both finalists, both Classic and Dream, will be knocked out.
It's kind of insane right now.
In the group stage, in the round of 16.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Both of them in the final match as well. Kind of crazy.
These Hydra's got to be a little careful here. A lot of units coming through those destructible ice. You have to get those Hydras back and start making a lot more, because that army's going to be coming in soon. Well, not too soon. Look at that great contaminate on the Forge, actually. Denying that +2 for even longer. It was already behind.
Rogue is like just playing Classic like a fiddle in this, man. Classic is just not playing the best game ever, and Rogue is capitalizing on his mistakes step by step.
Still, it's going to be a bit tricky. There's a lot of sentries, 8 of them with a lot of energy. About 24 force fields. That is a powerful map editor.
If he could actually get into a position here up at the top of this ramp and force all these units out, not able to do so. Those force fields are pretty weak. I mean, like, he can't engage on that, so that's a bunch of wasted force fields, basically.
Yeah, you really want to isolate at least half of those Hydras and take them apart. It's very little buffering for them currently, but more and more are coming in now. Rogue reaching max very shortly.
Blink is about to finish. He's not going to have +2 for a while, but that's going to give him more defensive micro ability. One Zealot Warp, and if he draws any units in the main, it's good. I mean, 4 Hydras for 1 Zealot, that's pretty good sort of aggro here.
Yeah, it's going to force maybe some spines in the main. It would be a good choice at this point.
Hey, these force fields need to be much better. Good blink there. Terrible force fields.
Great pullback. Rogue, like, really on point. You know, he's knowing when to bait them out, it seems. Classic just a little off point right now. 5
spine crawlers on the way as well to make this easier to hold once they finish. Even if he loses this 4th, you know, the transition point for Classic is very difficult. Okay, these force fields are a little bit better because now he can actually get up this ramp. That's exactly what he's going to do. If he can actually get up here and continue to force field off those units at the bottom, this could be solid. Here come those Vipers, though.
Blinding Cloud to cover them all right now.
Oh, and the abduct on a 200 energy Mothership Core. No recall available. He's going to win or die right here, right now. This is the deciding fight now, and Classic is losing already way too many of these important Stalkers.
He is, but a big whoop in from behind. Maybe he has enough to hold on here.
Oh, that second Blinding Cloud is really good. Roaches, though, a bit on move command there for a second.
He's got to get his whole army together and fight these Stalkers. He can't be running in like this.
Yeah, look at this concave at the top of the ramp here. More reinforcements. A bit of a questionable blink forward here by Classic, but he's got enough units to push this back, and he should be able to take this fight. Hydra's coming on that high ground. He can just blink away from them. Double blinks here. And Rogue was never able to fight with his entire army together.
Very ugly fight from Rogue. He had all the opportunity here. He could have let that 4th base go, made the army, and crushed it. But instead, he fought from multiple angles, and Blink Stalkers are always going to capitalize on that.
This is going to be tough for him to actually win at this point. He's got 11 Hydras and 3 Roaches. That's it. That's what he's defending with right now. Look at that. More and more Stalkers. This is a high economy build. You know, it's 66 probes with 6 gases. This is not like your super fast +2 Blink. This is a much later one with a ton more economy, a ton more reinforcing power.
Well, we do have, as well as 1 Viper with 2 Blinding Clouds available. It's about finding that fight there. Equal economy is not too bad for the Zerg if they have this kind of tool to use.
Yeah, because he's not down in tech because he does have those Blinding Clouds. And he just continues to produce units. Classic's ready for his next warping in just a minute.
Still, I mean, he's got to find the fight here. He can get the Blinding Cloud. He does get it. Pretty good.
He's blinking away to the left side. Into those spine crawlers, though.
That was an ambitious blink here.
Yeah, some of these
I didn't know if that was actually enough. So many Hydras doing so much damage.
Some of these blinks really, really ambitious. I think that's actually the best way to say it. I'm really glad you put it that way. I mean, Classic is, again, though, splitting the army with how he blinks his groups into 2. And more drones are starting to go down. I think Classic will still take this. The longer this goes on, the better it is for him because his Stalkers are getting low, but not dying. And the units of Rogue are dying. And he's even starting Storm now, actually. And Immortal is transitioning here because he did enough damage. He killed all those drones. He's got 36 Harvesters left. Yeah, 36, man.
That's a completely horrible place to be. Oh, man. Maybe he shouldn't have used those drones at all. I think you either had to defend with his army alone or he loses the game. Like, you can't take that kind of drone damage at this point.
Yeah.
Easy transition from here. Storm Immortals. You know, Storm alone was going to counter this army. If you have feedbacks as well, it makes it a little bit easier. But Immortals, I guess, to help out against the Roaches. Not necessary there. All you need is Storm. Storm is the best.
Well, this is just simply put like an insanely desperate situation, no matter which way you look at it for Rogue. Like
he had it when he was defending that 4th base, but he had such bad positioning with his army. Catching that Mothership Core should have allowed him to, like, almost let him sack that 4th base, gather up his army, make sure he had a Blinding Cloud or 2, and if he wipes that army out, he wipes out anything that Classic could do from then onwards. Kills the backbone of the army. It's so far ahead.
6 Templar out now. It's almost purely Roach. I mean, there's a few Hydras sprinkled in. I mean, Storm is not perfect versus Roaches, but it's definitely quite good. I mean, it's going to just add so much extra DPS for the Stalkers to finish this off. He's got, you know, 15 Zealots to buffer at the front against any Lings that decide to come out, plus the Immortals. He's built the best composition possible. The only way you could make this better is if he had like 1 or 2 Colossi at the back, and then this would just be unstoppable.
No force fields, yeah, which would be the...
I guess that's true as well, yeah.
Redeeming thing. There's no Guardian Shield either, which would help out a lot against the Hydras. But yeah, the Storms are going to make mincemeat of everything, essentially.
He's hesitating a bit here, but there's no 4th base, so he doesn't know that. But if he did know that, he would just be pretty okay with this. Okay, a big counterattack your Rogue's going to go for. There's no Mothership Core. He never remade that either, so there's no Time Warps and there's no recalls. And that's really important, actually. Keep that in mind.
+3 about to finish up. Gonna give him a little bit of extra.
Okay, he sees this army. Classic is going to split his army in two. He's going to the fourth base that isn't there, but he expects that it is with a small group of stalkers that would easily be able to snipe it. As soon as he gets there and sees that it's not there, it's going to be, oh, okay. Just got to relax.
Look at this. We're actually seeing Great Aspire on the way and 7 Corruptors. So maybe if Rogue can hold on till then, he'll have a shot. But I don't think Classic's really going to give it to him.
We're going to see a Fleet Beacon in just a second, as well as the +1 here for the air units as well. So, you know, it's both sides of the coin here. While he is getting the Broodlords, he's getting the answer for it. He actually hasn't added the Fleet Beacon yet. Instead, adding 2 extra targets. There's the Fleet Beacon.
Oh, look at this. It's like such a careful dance from Rogue here, but he might be caught out. The army's going to try and crash into him.
You'd see it with all the ambitious blinks we saw from Classic. We don't see that one.
Yeah. That's probably for the best, so this game turns around again.
Okay. Just trying to scout. I don't think he saw that Great Aspire. Is it unnatural? No, it's at the third base. Okay, so he definitely doesn't know about it.
Yeah, for some reason at the third base here. Well, look at this. Yeah, he's almost actually going to complete. He might actually have a shot at making these Broodlords, but
he needs to trade some units before he can make more Corruptors, so he's only got like 1 Corruptor on the map, right? 8. Okay, he's got 8.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
Got enough money, and it's all about maintaining this army until then, but looks like he's fighting. He's really overcommitting here. And this is a scary place for Rogue to be.
Classic also doesn't have enough supply to make those Tempests. So, you know, he's going to have to trade some units before he can do so. This is a good opportunity for Rogue because he already has these Broodlords ready to siege up a good position.
The question is, if he can run around here. Oh, he kind of got caught out there.
Yeah, he's going to kill some of these Stalkers, which is kind of what Classic wants. He wants to make those Tempests. Actually making 7 more Stalkers just to fight this army straight up. And I don't think this is a bad choice because he doesn't know there are Broodlords coming, and when he does, he's going to have enough Stalkers if he beats this army to just blink underneath it anyways, because all the buffer, all the support is gone. 3 Tempests on the way behind this versus 9 Hydras. Yeah. The Hydras have been fighting this entire game without speed, which is crazy.
He had to really take, he really had to avoid that fight. He needed all the buffering he could for those Broodlords. Without that, this should be a simple blink forward with some Storms.
A few Spines here, though. It's tough. Classic is playing too safe. But he really doesn't want to lose this. His tournament life's on the line here. He knows this. I think he's just knowing he's in bad condition right now. He's like, no, I just can't let this go. Great Storms there. All those Roaches in the red now.
Okay, not too bad so far. But yeah, when these Tempests come into play, things will change up a bit. He needs more Vipers. I really like how Classic is playing this because he's like, no, I'm on 4 base. You're on 3. I have the answer to your tech. I don't need to fight you before I have that with my army. I'm not even going to give you the chance to. I'm not going to take a fight where there's a possibility that you could actually beat my gateway units and then take an edge in this game. I'm not going to give you that possibility. 6 Tempests are going to be out by the time he gets to this base. The counterattack is a threat, but what is Rogue's decision making from here? Does he want to go for it? Does he pull back? It's such a hard one to make. It's so all in.
These cannons do get unpowered here, and there's actually a Tark Shrine. That's not a pile-on finishing those. Going to be up for down for a while. I think this is going to be the blink forward here. He goes on top of the Vipers, actually. Gives a few Stalkers away for free. And now targets those Vipers. Needs to target the Broodlords. Are there enough Hydras here? 2 abducts. Stalkers blinking here, but they're not on top of this army. The Storms on top of these Broodlords, though, really, really solid. He is targeting those Tempests. And this Zerg army is starting to fade away.
Yeah, he's running out. Just not enough here.
That's going to be it. We're going to go to a game 3 here. What an incredible day of matches. GG. It is now 11:30 p.m. Korean Standard Time.
Way too late, Will. These players looking so tired. Classic looking exhausted.
He just looks like he looks like he lost that game, but he won it. That's how tired he is.
Yeah, one more game. Can he hang in there? And Rogue, on the other hand, not looking too tilted. Not looking feeling too bad about that one. That was the map to burn. It's going to go to game 3, the rubber match, and we'll see what map it is in just a second.
Yeah, we don't know yet, but
completely forget from the start of this series.
Remember, Classic, the only player to ever win a Star League and the GSL. He just won IEM Shenzhen. A big favorite. My pick for the best player in the world, but today he certainly has not shown that dominance. He's looking a bit shaky. He's definitely in bad condition today, but he won that game with a solid timing attack, good micro. Well, questionable micro at times, but overall good micro, I would say. And Rogue really making the mistakes in that fight that caused the snowball there. Look, there's still so many people left in the studio. I mean, it looks a bit sparse, but consider that you're about to miss the last train if you're staying for this one, man.
Pretty much. Yeah, we're all taking tech.